Trae Young has been an underdog since he picked up a basketball. He's been underrated at every single level. So today I want to go back to his high school rankings and see where all the players that were ranked ahead of him are today. If you guys like the content, smash the like button, smash the subscribe button. I've been loving this series. Let's try to get 69 likes on today's video, and let's get into this. Trae Young started off at Norman High School, where in just his sophomore season, he was averaging 25, 5, and 4. As a junior, that was up to 34 points. He then went on to dominate AAU, alongside the top-ranked prospect at the time, Michael Porter Jr. Then as a senior, he would lead the country in scoring, averaging 43 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. So he was averaging 43 points, primarily scoring on the perimeter, but would graduate as just the 23rd recruit in the country. The second he touched the court of the University of Oklahoma, ESPN realized they made a mistake. On the season, he would lead the country in both points and assists, averaging 27 points, 4 rebounds, and 9 assists a game, shooting 36% from 3 on a ridiculous over 10 attempts a game. Insane. After this, despite the talent being completely and utterly undeniable, whether it was his size at 6'1", his turnover problems, the list goes on, he was getting showered with criticism, and for a while going into the draft process, it was looking like he might fall pretty far, but there was one team that believed in him, the Atlanta Hawks. They went into the 2018 draft wanting to walk away with Trae, so much so that sitting at 3 with Luka Doncic on the board, they traded down to 5 and got him. Now, in his rookie season, it didn't look amazing, especially to start things off. The haters were already doing their victory laps. On the year, he would average 19 points and 8 assists, shooting just 42% from the field and 32% from 3, which was supposed to be his strength. The narrative would change very quickly in his second season. He came out and averaged 30 points and 9 assists, shooting with much better efficiency across the board. Now he's coming off just his third season, averaging 25 and 9, but more importantly, being the leader of a team that just made it all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals. His future is looking bright, so who are these other 22 players ahead of him? Starting it off at 22, we've got 6'5" shooting guard John Petty. Petty graduated from Alabama, where he played 4 seasons, making a name for himself as a sharpshooter, averaging 12 points, shooting 38% from 3. He would go undrafted in the 2021 draft. He then played in the Summer League for the Pistons this past summer, but has yet to land a contract. 21 is another 6'5" shooting guard, Nickeil Alexander-Walker. He played 2 seasons at Virginia Tech, where as a sophomore averaged 16, 4, and 4. He would then go to the 2019 draft, where he was selected with the 17th pick by the Pelicans. He's coming off a very promising second season, averaging 11 points, shooting 35% from 3. 20 was the first point guard ranked ahead of Trae, 6'3" Jalen Hands. Man, was there a lot of hype for him leading up to his freshman season at UCLA, but sadly, he would disappoint, averaging just 10 points, shooting 41% from the field. He returned for his sophomore season, where it would go up to 14 points and 6 assists. That was good enough for him to go with the 56th pick in 2019 to the Clippers, but was then traded to the Nets. He played 1 season in the G League, but is now overseas. At 19, we've got 6'8" power forward Jared Vanderbilt. He would play just 1 season at Kentucky, averaging 6 points and 8 rebounds, before going with the 41st pick in 2018. He spent his first couple seasons bouncing between the G League, but this past season was able to find a consistent role with the Timberwolves, averaging 5 points and 6 rebounds. Ahead of this season, they re-signed him to a 3-year, $14 million deal. At 18, we've got another guy that was getting a lot of attention out of high school, 6'10" Billy Preston. He decided to attend Kansas, but ahead of his debut was involved in a car accident that triggered an investigation about the quote-unquote financial picture of the vehicle. Following that, he decided to leave Kansas. He would go undrafted in 2018, and so far has been bouncing around between the G League and overseas. 17 was 6'11" center Nick Richards. He played 3 seasons at Kentucky, and as a junior, averaged 14 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 blocks. He would go to the 2020 draft, where the Hornets got him with the 42nd pick. He spent his first season so far in the G League. At 16, we've got another 6'11" center, Brandon McCoy. He played just 1 season at UNLV, where he averaged 17 points, 10 rebounds, and 2 blocks. He went undrafted in 2018, spent a couple years in the G League, now overseas. Coming in at 15, we've got 6'7" small forward Troy Brown Jr. In his freshman season, he averaged 11 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists on not so impressive efficiency, but still managed to go with the 15th overall pick in 2018 to the Wizards. So far in his NBA career, he averaged 7 points, shooting 43% from the field. He's currently on the Chicago Bulls. 14 was 6'7" small forward Brian Bowen, who ahead of his freshman season at Louisville was actually the face of one of the biggest college basketball scandals we have ever seen. Reportedly, he received financial compensation which violated NCAA rules. This ultimately ended his collegiate career, and he ended up going to the Australian NBL before going undrafted in 2019. He played a couple seasons on the Pacers, but rarely got a chance on the court. Ahead of this season, he signed with the Minnesota Timberwolves. At 13, we had 6'4" shooting guard Lonnie Walker, who attended Miami, where as a freshman averaged 12 points, shooting 35% from 3. On the back of his athleticism and two-way ability, the San Antonio Spurs took him with the 18th pick in 2018. He's coming off his third season, averaging 11 points as a 36% three-point shooter, but it's looking like a breakout could be heading his way with the opportunity now available in San Antonio. 12 was 6'8" power forward PJ Washington. He played 2 seasons for Kentucky, where as a sophomore averaged 15 points and 8 rebounds, shooting 52% from the field and 42% from 3. He's coming off a very strong second season, averaging 13 points and 7 rebounds, shooting 39% from 3. At 11, we've got 7-foot center Mitchell Robinson. He decided to attend Western Kentucky, but ended up foregoing college and just prepared for the 2018 draft, where he'd be selected with the 36th pick by the Knicks. He's coming off his third season, averaging 8 points and 8 rebounds, but cemented himself as a very solid rim protector in the league. 10 was 6'9" small forward Kevin Knox. He came into his freshman season at Kentucky projected to be a top pick, and after averaging 16 points and 5 rebounds, he would end up going 9th overall in 2018 to the New York Knicks. So far, it hasn't been great. He's coming off his third season, averaging 4 points on career-high efficiency of 39% from the field. At 9, we've got 6'11" power forward Jaren Jackson Jr., who put together an amazing season on both sides of the ball as a freshman at Michigan State, averaging 11 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 blocks, shooting 51% from the field and 40% from 3. He got off to a hot start in his NBA career. In his second season, he was averaging 17 points, shooting 39% from 3 on over 6 attempts, but during the bubble, would tear his meniscus. He came back this season for just 11 games, but it's going to be exciting to see what he does next year after a full offseason to recover. 8 was 6'5" shooting guard Gary Trent Jr. He came in with very high expectations, and despite averaging 15 points, shooting 40% from 3 in his first year at Duke, he would fall all the way to the Blazers with the 37th pick. Trent Jr. is now coming off his third season, averaging 15 points as a 39% three-point shooter, and earned himself a 3-year, $52 million contract. At 7, we had one of the most talked about high school players at the time, 6'1" point guard Colin Sexton. He would go to Alabama, where he averaged 19 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists. He would then go to the 2018 draft, where he went 8th overall to the Cavaliers. In just his third season this past year, he averaged 24 points and 4 assists, shooting 48% from the field and 37% from 3. At 6, we've got the top-ranked player at Trae Young's position, 6'3" Trayvon Duval. He decided to go to Duke, where he came in with crazy expectations and was projected to be a lock for a top selection in the draft. But after averaging 10 points and 6 assists, shooting 43% from the field and 29% from 3, he would fall completely off the board and went undrafted. He spent his first few seasons in the G League, and he's now playing in Canada. I definitely would not have predicted this coming out of high school. At 5, we've got 6'10" power forward Wendell Carter Jr., who after a season at Duke, showing off his two-way ability, averaging 14 points and 9 rebounds, went to the 2018 draft where the Chicago Bulls selected him with the 7th overall pick. Today he's on the Orlando Magic, coming off a season where he averaged 11 points and 8 rebounds. 4 was someone we talked about in yesterday's video, 7-foot center Mo Bamba, who went to Texas, dominated defensively, went 6th overall to the Magic in 2018, and is coming off a season averaging 8 points and 6 rebounds. At 3, we had another 7-foot center, DeAndre Ayton. He would go to Arizona, where he was just flat out unstoppable, averaging 20 points, 12 rebounds, and 2 blocks. That was good enough for him to go number 1 overall to the Phoenix Suns in 2018. Now going into his 4th season, he's coming off a year where he played a massive role in the Suns, going all the way to the finals, averaging 14 points and 11 rebounds. The 2nd overall player in the class was the 1st overall player for the longest before the top player reclassified, and that's Michael Porter Jr. He would go to Missouri, projected to be the number 1 overall pick, but after dealing with a concerning back injury, he would fall all the way to the Nuggets at 14 in 2018. He missed his first season, but just recently earned himself a 4-year, $172 million extension after the potential he showed this past season, averaging 19 points and 7 rebounds on crazy efficiency. The top-ranked player in the class was 6'11" power forward Marvin Bagley. He put on an absolute show in his freshman season at Duke, averaging 21 points and 11 rebounds, shooting 61% from the field and 40% from 3. He would obviously go to the 2018 draft, where the Sacramento Kings selected him 2nd overall. This selection is going to end up stinging quite a bit, given that Luka Doncic was taken with the very next pick, and Marvin Bagley is yet to stay healthy for a full season, but so far has averaged 14 points and 8 rebounds. So that's it. Those are all the players ranked ahead of Trae Young. Now, there was definitely some very solid guys, which isn't a surprise with how loaded it looks like that 2018 draft will end up being, but it's safe to say he was severely underrated. I want to know your thoughts in the comments below. If you liked the video, smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.